Hey there, Maria, back with another video. It's 7:15 and it's Sunday evening. I just wanted to come on here and make a video. Had a pretty busy day. Got a lot done. And of course, I have to say that this whole, you know, understanding of my relation to this prince has just like literally blown my mind. I'm not really surprised at the fact that I'm of royal blood. The reason why I say this is because this explains a lot. This whole thing explains a lot, okay? But I think that it's the tearing of, my family and understanding what they went through. I'm thinking about my mother and my father, okay? I was thinking today, this afternoon, I kept thinking they should have been compensated more. And the reason why I say this is because I believe, he did this, my father did this in exchange for employment. And the sad part about a lot of African Americans is they think that a job is everything. It defines you. And I understand it's necessary to have a job, okay? But my dad wanted to do the best thing he could for the children that he had. And to give a person a job and that's it, with a child that is extremely special, who has special needs. When I'm talking about special needs, I'm not talking about like short bus needs. I'm talking about, you're giving somebody a child who has supernatural powers. We're not like other children. So that's a lot on a person. It's my dad he worked for a few years and then my mom was a housewife. So it's kind of like, and yeah, she was there to take care of the kids, but I'm not an ordinary kid. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand it's very painful and hurtful to know that your mom tried to kill you. Okay, it's a very painful thing, whether she's your blood relation or not. It's just the fact that I understand what a mother's role is. What naturally comes to a woman who truly wants a child, that beautiful feeling, and coming to understand that this was an impossible feeling for my mother to have for me. Okay, that is a very psychological disturbing. I always have my suspicions, but to really come to that realization, yes, that time in the kitchen. I also remember her setting me out the window one time, and I remember these little flashbacks. I remember she put me outside the window, and I kept thinking, why didn't she put me out the door? And it's like, she put me out the window. She was probably hoping that I'd wander off in the street and a car wouldn't run me over. It's probably what she was hoping, But I understand that she was a very scared person. She was afraid of me, I mean, I'm more than just what her sister was. I'm somebody who can literally read through her. She said, now I understand she changed the story a little bit. She changed the story she kind of, embellished it a little bit. Because instead of telling me that when she first saw me, that I was looking right through her when she gave birth to me. Okay, the truth is she felt as though I was looking right through her when she got me from the adoption agency or whatever, however that worked. My mother, I understand where she's coming from. And for that part, this is what made me sad all day long. It made me sad because I can understand. I understand what she felt. For whatever. I will tell you that this experiment that was done. I used to wonder about. To me it was just kind of like a hypothesis or whatever. I never really thought about cloning. I remember hearing about it when I was, just my interest, my little light interest in these little odd things that go on, right? I remember hearing about it. And it went in one ear and out the other. I kept thinking, okay, yeah, I understand people talk about cloning and stuff like that. But I never, but the first thing that would come into my mind is that I questioned that. I kept thinking, what would this kind of person be like? And believe me, I imagined like not having any sort of feeling, not being able, I kept thinking it would be the most cold being ever, because I kept thinking, everything to me seems like, well, you have to have the natural bond with the regular family unit and all that other stuff. But, I will tell you that the whole nature versus nurture, or the nurture versus nature type thing, I will tell you that here's something that should be noted. I do believe that a lot of us, what makes up a person is mainly based off their DNA. Okay, now the fact that I was unfortunate enough to have to be around siblings who fucking hated me, but being around, these different individuals, okay, I still gravitated to whatever I was drawn to. I was very pinpoint focus on things that interest me. I don't care what's going on at school. I don't care what's going on with my family. These are the things I'm interested. I'm interested in very extreme. Okay, I'm goddamn focused. Okay, so that's one thing. Okay, what else? When it comes to likes, a lot of that is what I'm naturally drawn to. I've always been drawn to, obviously, spirituality. Like, I knew no one had to force me to seek, my spiritual things. No one ever had to push me to do that. That's just me. Okay. Whereas, I could have fallen into the environment and the behavior patterns of my siblings and my mother to be kind of, they went to certain churches and stuff, but they were kind of like, they could take it or leave it. It didn't really have any meaning to them other than some sort of affiliation where they can go and eat, at these restaurants where you can just feed your face all day, social events or whatever, So, what else? I know that, there's, the things that I do like that I adopted from my parents, those are things like where, you're around it, you could take it or leave it. And I chose to take it. Like I know some of their taste in music and I like that, you know what I mean? Because I grew up listening to it. What else? But I understood that I immediately identified what their problem was. They had a behavioral problem. They had, but I also understand that their behavioral problem was, a lot of it was the burden of taking care of somebody like me. This is reality. I'm all about facts. It sounds sad because it is kind of sad for both people, for everyone involved. For everyone involved. It's sad for me, even though I didn't have a good relationship with my mother. I still loved her. I still wanted to have that bond with her. I wanted to be a part of my mother's side of the family. Now, don't get me wrong. I am very grateful to be a part of, I can't even believe that that's so real. Like, I'm very proud to be the spawn of, Prince. I hope I pronounce his name right. Amejo. I'll get better at it. But anyway, I'm proud of that. You know what I mean? And it confirms a lot of things that people have said about me in the past. And it makes sense now. You know what I mean? But also, I notice when it comes to this nature versus nurture thing or whatever, that I've always been they've always hated me for being prissy, for having standards, for, thinking things through. And I guess they used to call me hoity-toity or whatever. And I always gravitated towards things that seemed to them, even though I don't really have a lot of money, but to them it seemed like elegant. Like, why do you gravitate to those things? This is a part of who I am through DNA. So I understand that. I obviously did not click with these people, but at the same time, it's natural to want to have the love of a mother and a father. So when I think about how my father was compensated, I kind of feel like it's a slap in the face, because we all know that jobs are not a reward. They are necessary. They're something that you have to do, and the stress of even going to a job, especially as an African American man in the 1970s, I'm sure that was fucking hell for him. And then he has a child that they can't deal with at home. Right? He wasn't compensated well. And really, I kept thinking, what they should have asked? They should have asked for every single last child of theirs to go to college, whatever. They should have milked the shit to the best of their ability. You know what I mean? But they were ignorant. They were ignorant people. And when I think about this, because I'm the kind of person, I think things through so much, that's the most important thing. I used to think that people who were cloned couldn't have empathy. Now, I will tell you, I have been like a crybaby all my life. Like, I would watch cartoons. I mentioned this before. The Snoopy Come Home, that shit still makes me cry. I tear up when I see it. Nestor the Long-Eared Donkey, oh my gosh, I'm dead. I can't. I have compassion. And when I think about it, it's like, you know what, this, if that, on this side, I would say that the job was well done. You have created a person who has superior traits. That's not being arrogant. We all know it's fucking true. Okay? But at the same time, you know, the intensity of the pain that I feel, they didn't get compensated. There was nothing good in it for them. Okay? And that's going to hurt me for the rest of my life. Because I loved my parents. Even though, you know, they had flaws, I know that they, under their circumstances, you know, people can only take so much. They can only take so much. Okay? A job, and I'm going to tell you right, this, whether you're black or white, a job is not a fucking reward. Don't get me wrong. You know, I'm grateful to have employment when I have it, and when somebody's not fucking my shit up or whatever. But, and I'm not yelling at you people, because I'm understanding everything. I'm not trying to scold you. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings, but I'm just telling you. Okay? I talk about ethics because I live as a result of people's ignorance, of their bad behavior, their mischievous things that they think that don't matter, and that have serious consequences. Now, I'm not bitching you guys out because I really think it's time for them to move on. You know, I understand some of these people are celebrities, and I do think somehow in the future I'm going to be connected with you people. And so, you know, I'm very grateful that you viewed you're viewing my channel and you're enjoying my content. You know, I have great admiration for everyone. I do understand. I'm coming to more understanding of how this whole thing works. Okay, and I'm not going to go too much into it. You know what I mean? Because I'm tired of name calling. I don't want to do anything. And this is what I'm talking about. Is it's not in me any way scolding you guys, because you know I really do appreciate a lot of you guys. You people who are viewing me. Okay, and not just the celebrities. There's a lot of people that I do care about. Okay, but. And I'm not a clout chaser, okay? So believe me, when I compliment celebrities, I refuse to say shit that I don't mean. If I didn't care about any of these people that I shouted out, I wouldn't say anything, okay? Everybody knows I have the kind of integrity where if I don't say shit, I don't mean, okay? So, anyway, what did I want to cover? Yeah, we have empathy. We're able to make better decisions. We think differently, but... it's always, you know, works for us, you know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, we can, how can I say this? We're built different. We're built different. The way we think and everything, you know what I mean? But my mind's blown, really. It's just blown. You know, it's blown because I understand that, you know, you know, I don't know how it got so bad. I think it might have been the religious thing. So I'm not even going to go into it. Let's just keep it peaceful. You know what I mean? But this is a lesson that I think people should learn, you know? Anyway, yeah, I understand that I am... I don't even know if I should call it a descendant. I mean, how did you spawn? I'm going to call it spawn, okay? I'm the spawn of this prince. Enemy. Who? I don't know. Am I spelling it or pronouncing it right? I'm sorry, I don't know. But I'm going to get better. My mind is blown, and I already love this little prince. I do. I think about him, and when I think about his face, and I think about when I was about 6 years old, there's a picture of me. I don't have it with me because my ex-family has all my pictures. They probably burned them, but whatever. Anyway, there used to be this picture of me, and I was like 6 years old, and I had this like little red dress on, and it had like a blue collar and a little elephant. I love that dress, by the way. But when I look at his face and I look at mine at that age, I keep thinking, oh my God, how cute. And, you know, I'm not being arrogant, but yeah, I was a cute kid. And I keep thinking, my God, there's a resemblance there. You know what I mean? Anyway, yeah, it's cool. It's very cool. It is odd because, you know, my assumptions about these sort of experiments were wrong. You know what I mean? And I really had no reference. I'm always concerned about the soul. And yes, I want to say that we do have souls. If I can astral project, that means I can leave my body. That means that there is an ethereal body that can go outside of me. So I have a soul. And that's what I used to wonder. Do they have souls? Yes. Astral projection proves that I have a soul. Let's see. So yeah, I wanted to talk about that, and I'm glad that I did. Is there something else I want to say? Yeah, apparently people think that I won a competition. That's some competition. That's some game to play. You guys are fucking sick. You know, I was thinking about what a mind fuck this whole thing is. Like, okay, you're a little kid, you don't know. I think from what I understand intuitively, based on these downloads, I came to the Gordon family around 3 years old. You know, I do remember when I was, I think maybe I was 3, and it could have been at Edwards Air Force Base, because I don't remember Nevada at all. I remember us going there, like, on certain visits to Nevada, but I don't remember when, like, apparently, according to my birth certificate, I was born in Nevada. Okay, I don't remember that time in Nevada. I remember nothing from Nevada. Like I said, the only time I remember going or being in Nevada is when my dad took us there during the summertime. Okay, other than that, I don't remember that. And I know after we lived in Nevada, we moved to Edwards Air Force Base. So the funny thing, okay, I get it. And I'm not going to talk about that either. But I'm putting things 2 and 2 together. You know what I mean? Time-wise. And I don't want to make people feel uncomfortable. But I do want you guys to know that this is the result. You know? I'm obviously someone that had a hard time dealing with people when I was younger, because I always kind of spoke in a way that kind of freaked them out. You know? And whether they realized, you know, the whole story or not, they at least knew that I was adopted. They obviously knew I wasn't anything like my family. So it was black sheep everywhere I went. Like, it was horrible. You know, absolutely horrible. But, you know, that's life, I guess. But even still, you know, I still am who I am. I'm not ashamed of who I am. I'm comfortable. You know, you can't make me feel like ashamed or like whatever. It can't. It will never work. And if that's arrogance, well, I guess you can also say that people like me are arrogant. But I don't think so. I think it's just having standards. You know what I mean? Standards that I think that if people like the rest of the population adapted, they would live happier lives. You know, I think I live in a more advanced state. Now, some people will say, oh, that's not true. You don't have this and you don't have that. Yeah, I'm kind of a minimalist, really. And then, you know what the funny part is? I'm a minimalist because I've had to move so many fucking times throughout the course of my life. Okay, so it's just got to the point where it's like, well, why buy that? Because I'm going to have to move it, and I can't do everything by myself. So I'm just like, I don't really like deal with a whole lot of furniture and stuff like that, because my whole entire life has been built around this, right? And so, and now I'm getting to the root of it. You know, Maria is not only adopted, Maria is, you know, someone who, you know, is connected to this, what I'm going to call a prince, right? How cool is that? You know what I mean? But at the same time, it was just like very traumatic through the entire, like, the whole thing. Like, you know, first you start finding out that your family hates you. And it comes to realization your family hates you. And then you're wondering why your friends are shitting you away. Apparently they've always hated you. And the reason now you, like, follow it all the way down the line, it's like, oh shit, this is why? You know what I mean? I understand that they didn't like me because they thought I was too nerdy or whatever. But now I understand why I was nerdy. I was nerdy beyond my control. I mean, I literally had nothing to do with it. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much my update. You know, I just wanted to say that, you know, I think it's good that I understand who I am, because, you know, I think people are very lost if they don't know, and there's still things that I don't know. You know, apparently from what I get from these downloads, I do have a mother out there. I've never met her. You know what I mean? So, and I don't believe that I was born in the United States of America. Like I said, I do believe that my birth certificate is fake. Now, what I do, well, it's not fake. What I'm saying is, it's not fake. Like, here's the process of getting a birth certificate. Okay, whatever, you have to show proof for it. If you're a parent, you don't necessarily have to have documents for that, but you do. At least back then, you had to have like a baptismal record. What else? Or at least the hospital issued birth certificate to get a birth certificate from the state that you're born in. Okay, this is the way that they verify this sort of stuff. So when you're young, they probably had the hospital agree, because this is how gang stalking works. It's just been going on forever. It's been going on forever. Okay. I'm just aware of it, and I'm not here to create any waves other than to tell people, because I'm tired of living in a bubble. Because of this issue, I'm forced to live in a bubble. I have no social life because of this issue, and I want out. I'm not trying to hurt anybody. I'm not trying to, blabber about things that I shouldn't be talking about. Trust me, I'm not. Okay, but I need to have a life, and I feel like I've been in this box forever. You know what I mean? Like, it's just horrible. Anyway, where was I going with this? Yeah, so that's pretty much how I feel. And no, I just feel like, it's time for me to have a life. I haven't had one. I think that I think about the time that got absorbed in this. And, I was thinking too, the alphas, maybe my family didn't call them on me because of this paranormal weird shit that goes on with my head. They've been following me all my life, paying attention to what I've been doing. You know what I mean? Watching me evolve and grow. And probably wondering, am I falling into this role? Like my dad was watching me, making sure, like, he would smile, like, oh, that's so typical of someone like her. That kind of look. I know that throughout my elementary years, I would say they were really going well. I think even my mom liked the fact that I was a good student when I started off in school, mainly because, it made her look good. You know what I mean? How people use their kids. My mom used her kids, and a lot of people do that. And hopefully people will stop and realize that that's wrong. Stop putting all your failures on the back of your kid. That really is not a cool thing to do. But anyway, so now I can make my mom look good when I go to school. And I would say for a while I was making my mom look good. She's a good student. She's at this level of reading, blah, 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 blah. And then the bullying started happening, throughout the years. The bullying. And I couldn't take it anymore. No one likes being the awkward, weird one in the class. So nobody likes that. So you don't want to deal with it. Who would? You know what I mean? They had everyone against me when I was younger. So it's like, oh, shit. Like, really, there's nothing I can do about it, So anyway, life hasn't really been easy for me, all because of this, the whole issue where my father got compensated for absolutely nothing. Where I will feel as though my father and my mother's death will be a tragedy for the rest of my life. Seriously. It hurts that bad. I'm just telling you guys. I mean, it does. And it's like, man, I'm so real about everything. And I wish sometimes that, well, I wouldn't wish such a thing, but there's sometimes I wish that, like, I can be like, is blind or nonchalant like some other people. You know what I mean? But I take everything seriously and I pick everything apart. You know what I mean? But that's just my life. It's just how I'm designed. But anyway, I think that's pretty much all I wanted to say here. I understand that this is like a very strange situation. It's one of those X-File type things where it is. It's just mind blowing. You know what I mean? And that mind blowing stuff, drove my mother crazy. It drove her crazy. And who's to blame in all of this? I didn't ask for that. The sad part is, the black people in this country have dealt with so many problems and so many struggles that they were willing to take anything. And that hurts. It hurts so bad. It hurts so bad when I think about that. That these people did what they did. You know, it's not so much that, I don't know. It's just the fact that it really wasn't worth it. I mean, things turned out great at knowing that I am who I am. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I am so grateful. I cannot tell you how grateful I am to have this relationship with this prince. It's awesome. Okay? But look who got hurt. This whole thing hurt so many people. It hurt my mom, you know, because I know she didn't start off that way. It hurt her, you know, and I know it hurt my dad. But, you know, I will say he did the best he could, and I refuse to believe that my father he was a good man that I love very much. You know what I mean? So, anyway, I'm going to wrap up this video. I'll be back with another video sometime later. Take care.